So data types can be categorized into few main groups. The primitive data types are the fundamental data types and they are directly supported by the programming language. They represent single atomic values. So if you want to represent numbers, you can use integers. You can use a byte, short, int, or long. You have to declare a variable called, so in this case, you see that I've declared a variable called age using the val keyword. So I need to say val age. I give the type of the variable and then I assign a value to it. To represent decimals, you can use floating point. So float and double are two types of floating point uh, floating point data types. And as you can see, it offers a different precision. This has 6 to 7 digits precision, and double has 15 to 16 digits precision. Similarly, boolean represents is used to represent true or false values for logical operations. So mostly they will be used for control flow, decision making, and conditional statements in the programs. Character is used to represent a single Unicode character in 16-bit. And as you can see, a character is usually enclosed within single quotes. You say val grade colon char equals, and within single quotes you give the value for the character. Similarly, we have the non-primitive data types. So these are more complex data types and they are built upon the primitive types, or combining multiple values. They most of the time they represent a collection of more elaborate structures. For example, string is an immutable sequence of characters. Strings are immutable. That means once they are created, the content cannot be changed. We'll see what that means. So you declare a string by saying val, keyword val followed by the name of the string, colon, the data type equals, and the value for the string within double quotes. Next, we have collections. Inside collections, collections here is used to represent a collection of elements. This is a more advanced data structures that offer different ways to store and organize a group of objects. So you have arrays which are fixed size and ordered. You have a list which is immutable or mutable sequences, and set contains unique elements, and map is used to represent key value pairs. So you can say val colors equals list of. So this is how you declare a list. Say you want to have a list of colors. You can say val colors equals list of, the keyword list of followed by within brackets the three colors. Now what you're doing here is you are representing a list of objects, a list of colors using a single variable. You've created a list in the memory. So all these affect how these values are stored in the memory, and how the compiler, what kind of operations can be performed, and how the compiler uses these values. So user defined data type is nothing but, let's say you want to represent an entity. For example, you want to represent a person, you would say class person, and these are the attributes of a person. Name, age are the attributes of a person. So within these brackets, you're going to say val name is a string, val age is an integer. So you see that a person class is now made up of different attributes, and each attribute can be of a different type. So we are going to create a notes taking app. So our inside a notes taking app, we are going to declare a class called note, and this note is going to have different attributes like title and content, the created date, and so on. And each of these attributes of the note class will be of a different data type. So basically, classes are user-defined data types. In object-oriented programming, developers can write their own complex data types using classes. So basically, it's a part of object oriented programming where developers can write their own complex data types using classes. And these classes serve as blueprints for creating objects, and these encapsulate both data and behavior. Finally, we have enums, which stands for enumerated types, and they allow you to define a fixed set of named constants. Very important feature of Kotlin is type inference, which means you don't need to specify the data type of a variable. The Kotlin compiler can often deduce the type from the initial value assigned to it. So sometimes you don't need to say val grade colon character. We'll see how that works. You simply need to assign a value, and from the initial value assigned, the Kotlin compiler can deduce the type. So, but if the type isn't really obvious, you can also explicitly declare the type. So this comprehensive type system combined with null safety and type inference makes Kotlin a very powerful, safe, and easy language for developers.